baby, the Grande Dame of Potomac, the HBIC, the Queen, the star of the Real Housewives of Potomac, Karen Huger, has been arrested after being charged with a DUI. Now, her mugshot has not been revealed or anything. This story is fresh off the press. It's just coming out. TMZ is just now reporting it. Karen has spoke out. I do feel like she's trying to do some damage control. She's trying to reel it in. She's trying to control the narrative here. But Karen, sis, I know better than what you're trying to sell us. I love you, Karen, but I'm just going to have to keep it real with you. I know better than what you're trying to sell us, okay? Now, y'all, you better believe we're going to talk about it, okay? Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here, if it's your first time, you've never been here before, or maybe you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button right below this video to get locked into all things Damien After Dark so you never, ever, ever miss a beat, okay? Click that thumbs up button. It helps me get into the algorithm when you like the video. I would appreciate that so much. And join the conversation. Get in the comment section. I want to hear from y'all on how y'all feel about Miss Kern getting a DUI. Now, last but not least, if you want to support the Damien After Dark movement, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. I'll also post my Amazon wish list down there. And you can also leave a super chat. Just please be mindful that YouTube does take 50% of the money that you donate to us creators, okay? So let's get started. Let's get into this story. This is gonna be a quick story, but it's an important story. So I've been wanting to expand my audience here. I've been wanting to get more into other reality shows besides the Zeus Network and Baddies. And Housewives is one of those that I really want to talk more about because little do y'all know, I'm an expert when it comes to Housewives, okay? I've seen every series. I've seen just about every episode. I know all the Housewives, past, present, and future. So this topic, the Housewives, I know quite a bit about, okay? Now, Karen, we all know Karen is from the Real Housewives of Potomac, right? And I think it's safe to say that Karen is the face of that show. Now, some would disagree with me and say that Giselle is. Okay, well, we can agree to disagree, and we can meet in the middle and say that Giselle and Karen are both the faces of the show, right? So, originally, some news broke that Karen was in a car crash. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, and I started reading it. I was reading the little excerpt, and I'm like, oh no, this is so sad. I'm glad Karen's okay. Well, shortly after news broke that she was in a car crash, the article came out from TMZ that Real Housewives star Karen Huger charged with DUI in connection to crash. So they got the news that she was in this car crash, only later to find out that she crashed because she was allegedly drunk. Karen, what are you doing, sis? Before I give y'all my 2 cents and I go in on Karen, let's read the story first and then we'll talk, okay? In my Wendy Williams voice, and then we'll talk. So I'm going to read this to you guys. The source is TMZ, and then we'll talk about it. Karen Huger has been charged with driving under the influence and hit with several traffic violations in connection with her car crash this week, TMZ has learned. According to online court documents, the Real Housewives of Potomac star is facing 1 count of DUI over Tuesday night's accident or wreck, which notes that she has to make a mandatory court appearance to answer for it. She's facing an additional DWI charge as well here. What's the difference? Driving under the influence and driving while influenced? Isn't that what DWI means? Driving. Let me do my research here. DWI is driving while intoxicated and refers only to intoxication by alcohol. DUI, driving under the influence, refers to the offense of having both alcohol and drugs in an individual's system. Now, I feel like that can be misleading because Karen was charged with a DUI, but I don't think she has drugs. Maybe she does. I don't know. Alcohol, yes. Anyway, back to the article. There are several other alleged infractions that she's been dinged with too, per the docket, that touch on everything from negligent and reckless driving to driving way over the speed limit and driving with a suspended registration. The 6 traffic violations she was cited with don't require court appearances and have fines attached ranging from $50 to $510. First of all, Karen, why you got a suspended registration? Now, if one of us out here, me or you at home, had a suspended registration, okay, right? We regular ass people. Karen, you making 6 figures a year, sis. Your husband, you call him the Black Bill Gates. You should be fine on money. Why is your suspended registration? I mean, even if you didn't go down to the courthouse and get your registration took care of, you have an assistant, you have a team, somebody could have helped you out and drove you down there. I don't know. That just don't make sense to me that she has a suspended registration. Listen, I want to give Karen the benefit of the doubt and say she just forgot. We know Karen's 60-something years old. Maybe she just forgot. Now, another thing that I noticed they have here that, she had some citations like negligent and reckless driving, which means you swerving, you ain't putting your blinker on when you swerving into another lane, just negligence, right? Little shit like that. And driving way over the speed limit. Now that's the negligent and reckless driving and the driving over the speed limit. That's what gets me. Of course, the DUI, of course, being drunk is the biggest deal of all. But being drunk, of course, is what causes this negligent and reckless driving and this driving over the speed limit. Karen, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm so disappointed in you, Karen, because let me get Karen's age right. I don't want to be calling her no 70-year-old woman if she ain't, because she looked good. Karen looked good. We can... Siri, shut up. There's a lot we can say about Karen, but we can't say Karen don't look good, right? But right now, Karen, them looks ain't gonna help you with this DUI, babe. Karen is 60. Okay, 60 on the dot. Okay, so Karen, you a 60-year-old woman out here drinking and driving, got a grown adult daughter that's in college. How your daughter more mature than you, Karen? How is your daughter Raven, a 20-something-year-old girl that could be out here drinking and driving and partying and popping pussy at the college campus, but she out here being a, upstanding citizen? Raven, if you've ever seen Karen's daughter, Raven, she is just everything you'd want your daughter to be, right? Could you imagine you in college and you 21, 22 years old and your 60-year-old mama got a DUI? And now the whole world know about it. Now Raven got to go to school, go into classroom tomorrow, and everybody looking like, your mama been drinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just disappointed in Karen because this could have went way worse. You driving way over the speed limit. You driving reckless and you driving negligent. Karen, you could have really took someone's life here. Just like Shannon Bedore on Orange County. If y'all watch Orange County, Shannon recently got a DUI. This has become a pattern with Housewives recently where they've been getting DUIs. And there's no fucking excuse for it. There's no fucking excuse for these reality stars, anybody for that matter, but specifically these reality stars, to be getting behind the wheel of vehicles when you know you drunk. Now listen, y'all, I'm going to be real with y'all, okay? They say buzzed driving is drunk driving, and I agree with that because it takes one time. If you buzzed and you have an accident and you hurt someone or, God forbid, take a life, they're not going to give you leniency because you were buzzed. You done for, right? But I will say this. I have been out to dinner before and had a cocktail or two, no more than 2, and driven home. But I think it goes back to you have to be you have to advocate for yourself and know, like, okay, I'm good, I'm not good, right? Because my thing is, I've been very, very drunk before. I've been sloppy drunk. I've been blackout drunk. I've been crawling on the floor drunk. And I've never wanted to get behind a wheel. So I just don't understand the logic behind that when people do that. Like, yes, you're drunk as hell, but does it not ever go through your head one time that, I shouldn't be doing this. I might go to jail. I might take a life. It's not worth it. One night of drinking and having fun, it's not worth it. And then you have to put yourself in the shoes of, what if I lost someone due to this situation? Wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think about, God forbid, I lost a loved one due to somebody just being reckless and drinking and driving. You know how furious, Karen, we can't take this lightly, my love. We can't take this lightly. And Karen is my favorite Potomac housewife. But I gotta keep it real with you, Karen. You should be ashamed. And to be honest, in these situations, when these housewives get arrested for DUIs, I think they should be punished in a way. Suspended, something. But instead, they're rewarded. They're rewarded for this behavior because these production companies and Bravo and these TV companies, they look at it like, oh, this is going to be good. And that's sad to say. But on the flip side, it is reality TV. This is Karen's life. This is what's happening in her real life. So they're going to follow it, right? But at the same time, she's being rewarded because she's getting paid. Now she's going to get paid to tell and relive this story. Child, I just know Giselle and Charisse and them up in Potomac are going to have a field day with this. Karen, you got a really long season ahead of you, sis. When filming starts, this may sound really bad, but I think Karen just saved the show. This sounds terrible. She didn't save the show in a good way, but she just saved Potomac, because if you've been watching The Real Housewives of Potomac, you know that show is pretty much on life support. I stopped watching mid-season. It just wasn't good to me. I've watched Potomac religiously every single season, every single episode since the beginning. This season, I checked out. But now, I think Karen's DUI is going to revive the show, unfortunately. It's going to create a lot of drama. It's going to create a lot of questions, concerns around it. You know? So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this show and Karen moving forward. Now, let's continue with this article because I never finished. TMZ says they broke the story. They originally broke the story saying Karen was driving her 2017 Maserati late Tuesday night in Potomac, Maryland, in what police described as an aggressive manner. Cops told TMZ that Karen struck a median and a crosswalk sign at an intersection before continuing on and colliding with a parking sign off the roadway. The car itself was badly damaged, but Karen told us she was doing fine after the incident, which she chalked up to driving while in a super emotional state. Okay, so a couple of things here that's important. Karen struck a median. She hit a crosswalk sign. And then after that, she continued on and collided with a parking sign off the roadway. Karen, it's a wonder you didn't hurt somebody. It is a wonder you did not hurt somebody. It's a wonder that you're not about to be going to prison as a 60-year-old woman. This isn't good, Karen. This is not good. And quite honestly, it disappoints me and it makes me mad at her. Because, like, you could have taken an innocent person's life. Because you wanted to have a fucking Cosmo? Or 3? Or 4? And then Karen, as I told y'all at the beginning of this video, she's trying to save face. And she's trying to get in front of this story because she knows, A, this is going to look terrible. B, this is also terrible for her job because they're about to pick her apart next season. C, she's got a daughter. This looks, I mean, it just looks awful, right? It looks awful. Now, Karen, this is what she says, that she went to dinner with a friend where she says her and the friend were talking about some pretty emotional topics, some really sensitive topics, including Karen's mother who passed away. And Karen says that conversation she had with her friend at dinner, she got emotional. She was crying. And so she got back into the car to leave the restaurant, and she was still bawling and crying while trying to drive home. And she says she swerved to avoid a car that was coming directly at her. Karen, you think we buy this shit? Let me tell you what I would have done, Karen. I wouldn't have released a statement. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have gave this time to kind of, die down. Maybe go get some treatment, go to AA, go see a therapist or something, then release a statement. You guys, this is what happened. I'm so sorry. I've never been in a place like this before to where I'm drinking and driving. I recognize that I might need some help. That kind of thing. Because the whole doubling down, backpedaling, oh, this is what happened. I was just, I don't know if I buy that. Listen, I know how it is when you're crying and driving. I've been there. And you can't drive while you're crying, right? You can't. But what do most of us do if we're bawling or we're crying while we're driving? You're going to either A, pull over, or if you've got somebody with you, they're going to say, pull over, friend, so I can drive. I'm just confused as to why, Karen, if you weren't that intoxicated, why did you never pull over the first time when you hit the median? Why didn't you pull over after you hit the traffic sign? You hit the median and the sign, and then you continue to go on and drive more, and then you hit something else. Now, Karen says that she received citations, one of which she says was not related to the incident, but she made no mention of being intoxicated or arrested in her statement to TMZ. So she's trying to fake the funk with TMZ, not knowing that TMZ has been in this Hollywood game for years. Years, Karen. You're not smarter than TMZ. Okay? You can't hide anything from TMZ. They gon' find you. And they gon' find it out. They got people everywhere. So the fact, Karen, that you're trying to lie and change the story, hoping that it won't come out. Baby girl, mugshots, public records. And that's another thing. Where is Karen's mugshot? Because my thing was, before I did this story, I'm like, did she really get arrested, though? Or is this just gossip? Because we've yet to see a mugshot. However, TMZ is not going to put this story out without some evidence of something, right? Because they could be sued because this is damaging. If this was not true and TMZ put this out, Karen could sue. This is very damaging to her career, her brand, everything, if it was not true. Montgomery County PD, which is the county the Potomac's in, I'm assuming, Montgomery County PD says that the reason the charges weren't mentioned earlier is because all that was available at the time was a preliminary collision report. That's all that was available. And that a police report would have further info. TMZ hasn't obtained the police report just yet. But clearly, cops felt something criminal had happened here, evidenced in the court update. TMZ reached out to Karen for further comments, and so far, no word back. That's interesting. So, I guess, in the meantime, TMZ is going to find the police report to get more information. I'm assuming her mugshot will come out in the next few days. I hate this for Karen. I hate that we're talking about this when it comes to Karen. I mean, I guess on the plus side, Karen, you're going to get a raise next season. You're going to be the talk of next season. I know that sounds very superficial and bad, but like, Karen, you need your ass whooped. You do. You need a ass whooping at 60 years old, because this could have went so much worse. And I think as a 60-year-old woman, and this is not to age shame, okay? Because please, nobody take this the wrong way, because Karen is 60 looking 45, 50. But as a 60-year-old woman, I think it's time to put the alcohol down. I think it's time to put the alcohol. I mean, what am I wrong for saying that? I just don't know many 60-year-olds that are drinking still. And listen, it's okay to have a margarita. Because my grandmother is like 70 something. And every now and then when we go out to eat Mexican food or whatever, we might have a margarita together. Enough where we're coherent, where, we can form sentences, that type of thing. So I'm not saying Karen shouldn't drink I'm not saying that 60-year-old women or anyone older should not drink. But I think with what Karen's dealing with, it's time for her to stop drinking altogether. And, on the show, Charisse, y'all know Charisse. She was on season 1 and 2. She's still on the show now as a friend of. Charisse has stated multiple times that Karen is a drunk. Now, I always thought Charisse was just trying to get back at Karen, just say little shit. But now it looks like what Charisse had to say was true. And look, Charisse has known Karen the longest. They go way back. Charisse has spilled all of Karen's tea, said Karen's a drunk, says that she fucks around on Ray, she's fucking her driver, all sorts of stuff Charisse has said. That now I'm looking at it like, well, maybe Charisse was telling the truth. What do y'all think? Karen? No bueno. No bueno, Karen. Listen, I don't like to kick anybody when they down. Get some help, Karen. Go get some therapy. Get some healing. Do some things before you go into filming this next season of Potomac. I don't know. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this and what you think about Karen getting this DUI. Yeah. 1 count of DUI. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed yet, and click the thumbs up button and like the video. That helps me get into the algorithm so more beautiful people like yourself can find me here, okay? Now, last but not least, if you want to support the channel and help me grow, this is my new job. You can donate to the channel in the description box below using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. I will also post my Amazon wish list for those that choose to take that route. Please be mindful when leaving a super chat that YouTube will take 50% of the money you donate, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you for the donations, the love and support, and we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See you.